Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our workshop now that we've had a chance to get to know a little bit about each other. Let's learn more about heart disease. What we're going to do is start with a quiz to see how well you know some of the latest statistics from the CDC. True or false? Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men, women, and people of the most racial and ethnic groups in the United States. The answer is true. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women in most ethnic and racial groups in the United States. Okay, our second question. One person dies every how many seconds in the United States from heart disease? Is the answer every 5 seconds, every 16 seconds, every 27 seconds, or every 36 seconds? For those of you who guessed 36, you're right. 36 seconds, someone dying every 36 seconds is actually 2,400 people dying every day from heart disease. It's kind of a staggering number, and that's just for the United States alone. Okay, our final question. How many adults ages 20 and older have heart disease? And again, this is just for the United States. Is it A, 3.1 million, B, 12.6 million, C, 18.2 million, or D, 22.5 million? So the answer is C, 18.2 million. It's pretty sobering to think that that includes anyone ages 20 or older. So what exactly is heart disease? When people talk about heart disease, it can refer to several different types of heart conditions, but the most common type of heart disease in the United States is coronary artery disease, which is also abbreviated CAD, which restricts the blood flow to the heart. High blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, and smoking are the key risk factors for heart disease. Some of the other contributing factors include diabetes, obesity, physical inactivity, excessive alcohol use, and eating an unhealthy diet. So what happens? This is a cross-section of an artery. Up here you can see the normal cut section of an artery, one that's healthy. Right next to it shows a small tear in the artery wall. The next one down shows fatty material that is deposited in the vessel wall. And then fourth, what you can see here is a narrowed artery becomes blocked by a blood clot. So what are the symptoms of heart disease? Sometimes heart disease can be silent and it's not diagnosed until a person actually experiences the signs or symptoms of a heart attack, heart failure, or an arrhythmia. When these events happen, symptoms can include, and we'll go with heart attack first, it can cause chest pain or discomfort, upper back or neck pain. It can be a feeling of indigestion or heartburn, nausea or vomiting, extreme fatigue, upper body discomfort, dizziness, and shortness of breath. An arrhythmia feels like fluttering feelings in the chest or palpitations. And heart failure is a shortness of breath, or it's not a shortness of breath, but some of the symptoms are shortness of breath, fatigue, swelling of the feet, ankles, legs, abdomen, or neck veins. So, what are some of the ways that we can prevent heart disease? Because it's easier to prevent than to treat, or you just don't want to wait too long before before getting help if you are prone to heart disease. So one thing that you can do is to choose healthy food and drinks. Some of the healthier foods will be high in fiber. They'll be low in trans fat and saturated fat. It's a good idea to limit sodium or salt, also to limit sugar, and to limit alcohol consumption. Another thing you can do to prevent heart disease is to maintain a healthy weight. When you carry extra weight, it puts stress on your heart and your blood vessels. To know if you're in a healthy weight range, and this isn't a perfect way to do it, but it's the most easily used, is to figure out your body mass index or your BMI. And how you do this is you take your weight in pounds divided by your height in inches, and inches squared, and then once you have that number, you times it by 703, and that will give you your BMI. Your healthy BMI range is between 18.5 and 24.9. So if it's anything below that or above that, that's not within healthy ranges. Another way to prevent heart disease is to exercise regularly. And I think sometimes when we talk about exercising regularly, there are individuals that will put a wall up like, oh, well, I just can't do that. Start where you are. And if it just means you're walking more, or maybe you're taking a few more stairs than you normally do, if you're able to do that, find something that works for you. Any amount of exercise is better than not exercising at all. And another factor to prevent heart disease is to not smoke. And if you are currently a smoker, doing what you can to quit, because smoking and heart disease are linked. You're more likely to have that plaque build up in your artery walls. Okay, so if you have high cholesterol, that can be problematic for a risk factor for heart disease. My husband had a heart attack when he was 37 years old, and it's something that you want to watch closely. So if you have high cholesterol, you'll want to eat healthy foods. You'll want to exercise and increase your physical activity. What that will do is that will bring up your healthy cholesterol levels, or your HDL, which we want to be higher, your high density lipoproteins. And it will help to lower your LDL, which we call the bad cholesterol, or the low density lipoproteins. Again, we've talked about quitting smoking. That it applies for many different things in the health field. It will also help lower your cholesterol. You'll want to lose weight if you're carrying extra weight. Drink alcohol only in moderation. Have your blood cholesterol levels checked regularly. And take any medications that you've been prescribed for high cholesterol. If you have high blood pressure, that can also contribute to heart disease. You'll want to lose extra pounds and watch your waistline. So men are at risk with measurements greater than 40 inches, and women are at risk with measurements greater than 35 inches around the waist. Again, exercising regularly will help with your blood pressure. Blood pressure actually does heighten a little bit while you're exercising, but overall, to exercise regularly will have a positive impact on your blood pressure. You'll want to eat a healthy diet. If you need to, keep a food diary or have a meal plan, or plan to eat something healthy, even if you're going to eat out. One thing you can do is to reduce the sodium in your diet. Read food labels. See how much sodium each label or each food contains. Try to eat fewer processed foods. Those tend to be high in sodium. And another thing that you can do is to use herbs or spices instead of salt to flavor your food. Limiting alcohol is important if you have high blood pressure. Again, quitting smoking if you're a current smoker. Cutting back on caffeine. reducing stress, because stress tends to contribute to heart disease as well. And as far as stress goes, some things that can help with that are to change your expectations, focus on issues you can control, avoid stress triggers, practice gratitude, and make time to relax and to do enjoyable activities. And then you'll want to monitor your blood pressure, check it regularly, and talk with your healthcare team. One other thing that contributes to heart disease is diabetes. If you have diabetes, it's really important to learn about carb counting and portion sizes. Try to make each meal well balanced and avoid sugar-sweetened beverages. Again, regular exercise. Monitor your blood sugar levels carefully. Stay hydrated. Be prepared. Have a small snack or glucose tablets in case your blood sugar level drops too low. And take medication as directed. Now, I'll open this up for the next few minutes to anyone who has questions. If there's something that you didn't quite understand, or if you want me to go back, I would be happy to help you with that. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you being involved in this workshop. Here are the sources that I use for this presentation.